You guys, I'm so nervous. I just had no impulse control in that moment and I just clicked it. I'm sure you already know by the title, but this is going to be a very exciting video because I finally got into PA school. If you're new here, my name is Olivia. I am pre-PA in my gap year and I work as a medical assistant in 150 different clinics, but all of this has been in the pursuit of going to PA school, and it has honestly been a very long, rough journey, but it finally paid off and I got into school. But I've been wanting to make this video for so long because, just for context, it took me 2 cycles to get an acceptance, and last year I really wanted to film my whole journey, and so when I would open emails back from the school, I would film it, and so I have so much footage that I've just been saving for this occasion. So I hope this will give you kind of a more well-rounded view of what this process has been like. If you are applying to PA school, then you know it's not an easy process and it takes a lot of motivation to get through it all, and you have to really remember why you want this, especially if you end up having to go multiple cycles like I did. And yeah, I just want to be super upfront about that. I feel like there's so many videos of people getting in their first cycle, and that is honestly super impressive, but I also think there's a lot to say about people who put themselves back out there again. I know people who have gone up to 5 application cycles because they knew this is what they wanted to do, and I think that's also really inspiring because it takes a lot of resilience. And yeah, I just wanted to be totally transparent about that. If you are discouraged, whether you're applying to PA school or any other grad school or med school, just know that there's always an option to try again, and when you do get an acceptance, it's just that much sweeter. But without further ado, roll the footage. Okay, we'll see if I can even put words together. Basically, I just woke up, as you can probably tell by my voice and my hair, but I literally woke up probably 2 hours before I needed to, and I was like, no, I need this sleep, so I went back to bed. But I just kept having a dream about the decision for the PA school I applied to, coming out in the morning, which I have had several dreams about this, probably just because it's been on my subconscious so much. So I mean, I didn't think a ton of it, but then I literally woke up for reals and checked my phone and it said a decision has been made. And so I was like, what? I was expecting this a lot later. I will just preface this, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I didn't want to read it yet, but I did see the subject of the email, and it said, what did it say? Just a decision has been made. And I feel like that's not the most hopeful title. If it was an acceptance, I feel like it would say congratulations or something. Anyways, I don't know really what to say before I look at it. I'm literally shaking. I really want to go to this school, and if I don't get in, it's okay. It will be okay. Right now it kind of seems like the only one going for me, but that's really not true. I just haven't heard back from a lot. But yeah, I like this program so much that I literally might wait and apply next year if I don't get in. I don't know. We'll think about that after I read the email. You guys, I'm so nervous. Yep, it's a rejection. Oh. Man. Yeah, this one I feel a little deeper than my last rejection. I think I'm just gonna let it kind of internalize for a little bit, and I will see you later. Okay, it's significantly later in the day. I opened that email this morning and now it's like 9 p.m. I've had a chance to like really let it sit all day, and I definitely cried probably 3 times. And I'm not a crier, so that's saying something. But I think it was just kind of overwhelming because this has been such a drawn out process, particularly for this school, and it was my dream school, and I don't know, like I did feel pretty good about the interview, and I, just kept looking more into the program afterwards and getting excited about location and just all the cool things they do. Anyways, today I just couldn't really shake the sad feeling, which I think is okay. I need to feel my feelings. I will say one thing that kind of made the day a little better is I got an interview at another school randomly, because I was kind of feeling like this might be the end. Like, I feel like all the other schools have given out interviews already and I might just not get in this cycle, which again is fine. Then I got an email that I got an interview, so I'm very grateful for that. Still, it's just kind of a weird mix of emotions, because obviously I'm really grateful that I got another interview. At the same time, getting the rejection from my dream school on the same day is anyways, I just don't really know how to feel. But overall, I'm doing a lot better than I was this morning, and I'm sure it'll just keep going up from here. Okay, it's now November. I can't even remember the last time I picked up the camera for this reason, but I just thought I would document since I documented my last interview. I had another PA school interview today, and it was pretty much the exact opposite of my last one, as different as you can get. So my last one was an MMI. I have a separate video explaining my whole experience with that. I'll link it up there. But this one was in person, and it was more of a traditional interview, and it was a panel interview, also with group activities, and yeah, it was just pretty much as stark of a contrast as you can get from my last one. The questions they asked were a lot more traditional. They were pretty much all tell me about a time when, fill in the blank. And so yeah, I guess my takeaway and advice for all of this is just that every school is so different. And so if someone says this is the one thing you need to do for all your interviews, it's just not true. There's so many different scenarios, and you kind of just have to cater your preparation for each school. Obviously, you saw I got rejected from the last school that I interviewed with. That was definitely hard on me. So I was kind of in my head about this one. I wasn't sure if I was doing well, even if I felt like I was, if that makes sense, because I thought the last one went pretty well. So I'm just keeping my expectations low. I feel like I did the best I could, and I should hear back in the next month, so I will see you then. Okay, so we're back here. I honestly did not film much of this current cycle just because I wasn't quite in that headspace. I wanted to just, really focus, and while I liked filming the last cycle, it was hard to keep opening rejections or wait lists and never have my moment of opening that email that said you're accepted. So unfortunately, I don't have that. Also, one thing I realized is that a lot of schools don't even give you the option to be surprised by their decision, because in the subject line of the email it tells you whether you got in or not. So if I saw that, I was like, well, it's pointless for me to film. But let me walk you through what was happening when I got this acceptance. So if you're new to my channel, I am a float medical assistant, so I work with a new team of coworkers and new providers every single day. So it's not like I go to work and I have friends that I know. I'm meeting new people and forging new relationships every day. And so at this particular clinic, I was working in internal medicine, and we were on lunch, and so I was just checking my emails really quick, and I saw one from the admissions coordinator at a program I applied to, and I want to say this was back in September or October. I'd actually have to double check, but this is a phase of the CASPA application cycle where you kind of get a lot of emails, whether they're rejections or interviews or wait lists, or this could be so many things, or even wait lists for interview. So I had already interviewed with this program. I immediately clicked the email. I wasn't like, oh, maybe I should wait until I'm like alone. I just had no impulse control in that moment, and I just clicked it. And to preface this, I had just received a rejection a couple weeks earlier from a school that I was really hoping to get into this time. And I had interviewed for both that school and this school in the same week, so it was a crazy week, and I felt like the interviews really went similarly well. Like, neither of them I was like, well, that was the best interview, I feel so good about it, but I thought I did well and connected with people for both of them. So that being said, I was not in the best mindset of thinking I was gonna get in because I didn't get into the other school. And since I felt like I performed similarly to that interview, I really wasn't hopeful. And so when I read the words, "We want to congratulate you on your acceptance," I audibly gasped. And I had a coworker sitting right here. I was at my desk and I literally was just on my phone like this, and I went, and I like froze for probably 10 seconds, and she's like, what the heck is going on? And because remember, I don't really know this girl. She's sweet, but like, I don't know her. And I was just like, I just got in to PA school. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, like I just got in. And I told her the program name, and she was really excited for me. She was really sweet, but I don't think she quite grasped what this meant to me, obviously, because she didn't know my whole story, but she was sweet. And it was just kind of a weird moment because I mean, the relief was just incredible knowing that I had gotten in somewhere, but I truthfully was not expecting to get into this program, and it's one that I am so excited about, and I really felt like was a perfect fit for me and my personality and my career goals. So I was like over the moon, but I was in a setting where like I had to kind of contain my excitement. So anyways, the rest of that shift, I was just on cloud 9, but kind of secretly, and it was just a weird environment. But obviously, after work, I couldn't wait to share it with people. I get lots of scam texts on my phone, and if I'm ever not super sure, I text my mom and I say, this is probably a scam, right? And so I had the idea to send her a screenshot of the email and say, do you think this is a scam? Like, should I report this? And I sent it to her while I was on the phone with her, and that's how I told my parents. They were definitely confused at first, but it was kind of a funny way to tell them. And yeah, I told some of my friends that day too, and yeah, I just felt so supported, and anyone who is close to me, like my friends and family, know that this has been a goal of mine for a long time, and the process has been really exhausting at times, and I've put so much work and dedication into becoming a PA, and so just to get that first step of getting accepted felt so amazing. I do really want to share more about the program that I'm attending and why I chose it and why I'm really excited about it. It's a pretty well-known name, and so I think there might be some interest out there in it, but I think I'm going to save that until it gets just a little bit closer because the program doesn't start until next fall. I'm really excited to share everything with you guys if you're interested in my PA school journey or more about what I did that helped me in my second cycle to get into PA school, or if you just want more content about all the clinics that I cover at, feel free to subscribe and follow along with me. I feel like I just have so much excitement right now and new motivation for sharing my journey because it's finally heading somewhere. But again, while you're applying to PA school, don't give up. Even if you have to take another year or two, if this is something you want, then I firmly believe you can attain it. You just have to keep trying. And you are definitely not alone if it takes you more than one application cycle. Love you all.